So how did you get into it? Did you find, what was your first movie that you did?
My first movie was a movie called Loved, with William Hurt and Robin Wright and Sean Penn. I didn't really know what I was doing, you know.
But they knew of you and just...
Yeah. And ultimately what it was about was about brutalized innocence, you know. And so what and there was one little tiny moment in the film where Robin's father sings her this little tune in the car, you know, in her happier days. And so I took that little tune and I kind of broke it, you know, and I made it, you know, and I took the little tune and I took the notes of it and I just smashed it like a glass.
Had that part already been in
Yeah,
the
it was already, it was shot, yeah.
You got it, okay. And you smashed it.
Well, and I took the little tune and I smashed it up and I made it, and then I kind of tried to make it feel like it was drowning, and it was always trying to surface against the water. Anyway, there was this other guy who had a studio down the road who was preparing another film, and he would come by and drink scotch after work. I would say to Tony, I never really told Tony what the movie was. I was just playing the music, and so I said, Tony, what does this sound like to you? And he said, sounds like innocence trying to swim to the surface of a lake.
No,
you know,
he did not.
Yeah, he did. It was like that, and I was like, wow,
I got it.
That's great.
So you did that for a few years.
Yeah, I did that for 3 years, and then right around the time of a tune that I'd written, you know, it was in this movie, and I got nominated for a Golden Globe for it, and so I came to L.A.
Which movie was that?
It was called Moulin Rouge.
Yeah, that little film. I knew you. That's what you were saying with the way you said it. Was some movie.
Well, anyway, so I came back to L.A. for the award show, and it so happened that I was sitting next to Hans Zimmer, who's a very well known composer, and he and I had done something together years before for this movie, The Pledge, and he'd always commented on my guitar playing and songwriting. He was like, so he was like, oh, David, you must come to L.A. I'm doing a Frenchman. He's not French. He's German.
And that's what you're doing now. What's the show that you're currently working on?
It's called Life Unexpected.
Yes. Which channel is that?
It's on the CW network.
Okay, right.
And it's really a good show.
Awesome. Yeah, everybody check that out. David is scoring that. Is that the right term?
Yeah.
Scoring. So yeah, how does that work, and how did you segue into TV, and what's the difference?
Well, I'd worked on a picture with a director named Gary Fleeter. It was a movie called Runaway Jury, and we hit it off, and Gary's Gary's a guitar fan. He likes guitar playing and guitar players, and he likes the intimacy of the guitar as a scoring instrument. The direct appeal of it.